What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. So, I do believe I am sharing the wrong screen. Hang on, let me switch over. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyway, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. And I just watched ICT's repricing macro and it's obvious why I missed out on the morning run, one, and two, the afternoon run as well. So let's go over what happened yesterday and do a little back testing. All right, let's get tiny. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go back up to 5 minutes and let's take a look at yesterday's price action. First things first. I am now at 16,717 with my 3 attempts yesterday. So I had a short on in the morning, and then I was honestly didn't understand flow, so I put a long in at an area where I thought it would retrace, failed, and then short that I took too early, and because of my rules, I didn't take the secondary one that I was seeing, so it is what it is. Anyway, so all a good learning experience. So yesterday morning's session, and actually I'm going to use this one because of the session guidance that I have in here, right? So I was expecting sell side on the London session, and if they didn't take it during the morning, then they would definitely take it in the afternoon, which is what they did right there. But anyway, so they'd left the lows intact, and then at 9:30 ran up. What I failed to do, and this is what I keep realizing, like I had this premium fair value gap in place, but what I didn't also have, um, and let's do this on the 15 minutes on this chart. What I didn't also have was the order block that was, associated with that in this general vicinity, right? Because we had this drop and these guys repriced up into it. I didn't take into account that they'd want to take this out, right? I didn't, and finish up repricing the rest of the fair value gap. So let's see what would have happened if I put that down here, if I'd added this right here as a bearish order block, because it's inside of it and there's still some left. So, right. And then drop down to 1 minute. So this is what I was seeing at the time, right? I saw the first break. Now let's zoom in on this price action here. Let's take this off. This is like midpoint that they were like stalling at. And I was like, oh, they're going to drop. Because I was like, I'm going to take a short from here. And I didn't. Should have, though. It would have been beautiful. In any case, so we had two options, right? So I was waiting for them to come up here, show me some idea of it dropping. So when they made this break here, I was like, cool, good. So I set myself an order right here with a stop above here, and of course got stopped out when it rallied back up. And then I was watching it just kind of play around in this, you know what, this is annoying, play around in this general vicinity and then drop. Now ICT, from a silver bullet perspective, he took his trade from here and set his stop halfway, at above consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. So great. But in my mind, if I'd been really focused on it, I could have had my 6 ticks that way and aimed, I'd have got my 40 ticks before we even made it back to the new week opening gap, much less the opening range gap that's below it, which is what I would have been expecting them to go to. Now, my general expectation is once I hit like 20 ticks, I would have locked that in, waited to see at 40 what they did, locked that in. So what would have happened at 40? 40 right there, would have happened here. I probably would have kept my 20 something locked in, maybe halfway up this thing, and then as they continue to fall, lock in my 40 and then not care about the rest. But so my mistake in the morning when I was going for the short was not being as prepared for them to take out this high. And then the long, because of here, low, lower, low, shift through. So I thought it's a breaker maybe. So they might, I might get a long from here, which they did reverse a bit, yes, but they stopped me out. Broke through the breaker. So something I've learned is to like pay attention, wait for them to like hit the area, see what they're gonna do, and then enter, right? A little more patience would have been good. I didn't know that I trusted this because I'm still so new. But after watching ICT, I'm like, okay, so I was already short biased, and then they never made another high here. So I should have felt comfortable taking the short from here with a stop above there. Okay, so for the afternoon now, same scenario. I took a short, but too early. Um, 43.8375, 43.8375. So this was meandering about a bunch, and my stop was way too short right here. So I got reamed on that one. Now what I noticed was after the fact, so I didn't take anything, they were hovering around 50%, right? So I was thinking to myself, well, definitely take a short from here because it's showing a desire to not reprice to the entirety of the opening range gap. That's something ICT talked about, and I was like, oh, hey, that's pretty cool, right? But because I'd already taken my three losses, couldn't take this, and my expectation was for them to take out the New York lunch low right there. So I would have taken like a couple things and would have been fine right there at 49 ticks. Beautiful. But as I was looking at it yesterday, I was just like, still so much to learn. Still so much to learn. In any case, it is a new day, a new opportunity. Um, and so we'll see. So now the London high is here. They've already taken out the London low. What's left is the PM high, and yesterday's PM high for liquidity down here, and the London took out the PM high. So I'm still pretty. The lunch high is still in play, but we're heading down for the moment. So that could be a nice little draw. Let's roll up to the 1 hour. See, that made me so sad yesterday. It's like I was so close to having it right, but just my entries are awful. Like the premise was okay, but my entries was crap. Like just pure unadulterated crap. All right, so they've repriced entirely to that daily fair value gap. Let's pop up to the weekly really quickly and let's hide some stuff so we can see. Okay, so we've entirely repriced to the fair value gap. So we're hovering at this old high at 43.70. Next potential is a volume imbalance all the way down here, but there's, of course, all of this fair value gap with the volume imbalance at the base to contend with if they're going to, this is the weekly, sorry. Yeah, so all of this juiciness down here. 43, 48, 25 is the low of this week's candles. That could be like an area to consider. And we still haven't drawn, we've repriced to this bigger weekly fair value gap and broken out of it for the time being, but I'm still waiting for, I'm still feeling very bullish for the moment. Because, I mean, look at it, right? For me to continue the bearish, to feel fully bearish, I need these lows to be broken personally. Oh, sorry, let's go to the daily. All right, so the week's looking pretty bearish. We've got order block at 43.49, which still almost coincides with the last week's low. So that's a potential draw as well. And the fair value gap at 43.15 down here that they've started to dig into, but never quite made it back, along with the order block down here. So we'll see what the plan is. I have meetings today during the 10 o'clock silver bullet, so I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to participate in that one, which will make me very, very sad. But, you know, it is what it is. In the meantime, let's take a quick gander. Anything juicy since yesterday? Okay, not really. All right, so let's pop open the back testing, and I need to be a lot more uh, apparent. Like I need to pay closer attention to what I'm doing. Okay. Clean this up a bit. All right. So let's do a little replay. Stop. Okay. This is the 15th, Thursday, the 15th of June. I'm going to go up to the weekly so I can do some high level conversations with myself. Okay, so we're so we've priced up into this weekly fair value gap. Okay. And for this wick, we'll specify consequent encroachment. There. Just, it's down here. I can't find it anymore. Probably a good idea to put my glasses on. That might help, right? Okay. So let's note consequent encroachment. And then let's also note that. Control Z. 4498. Okay, let's delete this. 498, something like that, approximately. So things I could be rolling up into. Let me make sure I'm not. Let's move this down. Assuming that's what half of that is. Yeah, approximately. Okay, and what's other draws we have? This fair value, this whole thing here, along with liquidity void. I'll leave that alone for the moment. Let's go to the daily. Okay. So we've hit the top of this thing on the daily. What do we have? There's a volume imbalance right there. Could be aiming for. Make a little note here. So let's just do volume imbalance. Let's drop it inside. And of course, this fair value gap that we've already been pricing into. So it's going to be the discount right there. Side. Okay. Let's drop down into 1 hour. And Actually, let's do a 15-minute. Okay, and where are we? So this is Thursday. 4:45. Where's 10 o'clock? 9:30. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Zoom in. So we have the London high, which has sort of been taken out here. So I'm going to look at the PM session. The low's already gone. This is what, 4? Yeah, so let's do that. So yes, we have buy side here, and then the PM session buy side up here. What is this? Volume imbalance. Okay, and the volume imbalance up here. And just for reference point, where is the midnight opening price? About there. Okay. Midnight opening price. Right there. Okay. Something that could also be. All right, so what do we have on the 15-minute? It's down here. So we have dropped into this fair value gap, which also looks like a balanced price range, the high, low. So let me see here. What's the 0.5 of that? It's about here. It's probably like some FOMC drama right here anyway. Okay. So we've repriced down to this thing. It is, let's drop down to a 5-minute. And it's 9:25. Okay, so 9:30, what do we do? Take off. We're back into this thing. We've taken out the low-hanging fruit at London. 9:45, so there's a strong move up. Okay. Oh, goodness. 9:50. So obviously we have some, they've just taken out the New York lunch. We're rolling all the way back up into this thing. Let's get high. Let's get full screened up in here. So this is the previous day's PM high they just took out. I left these lows intact. And let's go up to 1 hour. Right. And we're feeling very bullish. Okay. Sometimes I lose track of what it is that we're supposed to be feeling in this moment, which is no good. Okay, so 9:45. We're not, we're close to taking out these highs. So get another 5-minute in. Oh, hold on. It's 9, yeah. So 9:55. So 10 o'clock comes into play. All right, so let's see what we have. Actually, it's fine. So if we're gonna do, it's been a pretty energetic run. It doesn't look like it wants to stop on the 5-minute. Let me see here. And let's go to 1 minute and see what we're working with. So, 10 o'clock just rolled in. Probably gonna try to look for a reason to continue on up. It's the continuation thing I don't really understand. So right now it was just a drive up. Would we be able to It's like no rhyme or reason to me, you know? So would this do? But this is an immediate rebalance right here, right? Immediately rebalance, so it's going to continue on up. Hmm. So I'm wondering what would happen if I did this. See, if I did something like that with an immediate rebalance like that. Let's look at the 1 minute. Because so it's come down all close. Let's say I buy it right there. Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. So I am definitely wrong. Let's flatten that out there. So what happens here? Let's go up to the 5 minute. Okay. So I was thinking the immediate rebalance might do something for me, but this is all wicking. Okay, let's continue. Sorry, let's take that off. So we've come back into this order block right here. There's no real fair value gaps. What are we doing? So I expected it to come back. Expected it to rebalance down a bit, but I didn't know where it was gonna, didn't really understand where it was gonna stop. There's something in here that I'm missing. Let me look at a 30-second. Oh, guess I can't. 1 minute's all I got to play with. Where was I? Just looking at the AM session on the Thursday, right here. It's about here. Okay. So I was wrong about the immediate repricing. I'm just wondering, I don't really understand how one manages this. Wait. There's a small fair value gap right here. So let's see. So we saw they did come back down. Continuation, take profit. Okay, is this the one that you want to stick with? But the wick does the damage, but they stayed inside of this order block though. So make that a light green. They stayed inside this order block. Hmm. So if I'd said, well, with there's a tiny volume balance button, something like that, get below it. Okay, would that have been enough? Hmm. So now we have this tiny thing here and this order block here. Good opportunity to buy at this point. It's very messy. Um, so let's see here. So once we took out, this high right here, like one standard deviation is here, this is almost there. So that feels like a good place for it to go. The So we hit the one standard deviation from that point at the lunchtime. That's so weird. Like you really do have to switch. So like one standard deviation. Oh wow, it's 100 ticks of deliciousness right there. With a 6 tick stop. Doable. But yeah, I had to hunt for that. It's crazy how you have to hunt throughout time to see that. So given the time frame, this little volume imbalance, that one, not not visible. There's a tiny one visible here, but not visible on the 5 minute. 4 minute had this big one. 3 minutes. The 2 minutes had a smaller version. And the 1 minute. mm. Now we technically had a shift here and constantly thinking about premium versus, and we came back down. So good entry would have been there. And to go one standard deviation up, which is about there. It's a respectable haul as far as I'm concerned. It's so hard though. Okay. 15 minutes. All right, so very bullish. Repriced, took that low out, and then went back up. Price is so interesting. Like you really need to understand its movements. Okay, so lunchtime sometimes, according to ICT, they'll take the closest energetic run, which would have been this. So I'm curious to see if they're gonna come down this way. Just for funsies, let's see if it gives us any particular reason. Oh, look, it did. Oh, so hold on. So 15 minutes. If there's going to be some retracement in this grouping, it could be back down this way. At minimum down to that order block. So testing purposes, something to there approximately. Let's go to 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, we have this low taken out, shift, fair value gap with this order block. So if I were to say sell from here, with the expectation of them to come somewhere, at least take this low out. That worked for me. Let's see. No, not at all. I wonder if it's a moment where they just want to take out some stuff and then come back down. This is lunch, right? But it's a very bullish day. So we've come back down into this thing right here. Yeah. So there's a definitely wrong to, it's not a day where they're following any kind of script, right? Okay. All right. So, oh my God, hold on. Hold on. Because the energetic run, did they take it? Hold on. Well, they took that. You know, ICT is so smart. Look at this. I never noticed the signature, but even as a short little thing, like, I don't know if they ever made it back up this way, but like 50% up that thing, and then they dropped. It gave us about 30 ticks. It's about there. And then we're coming up on this fair value gap. I don't like that they're taking out this thing. So, for me, they'll be going back up. But at minimum, could have looked for them to take out the lunchtime low and what fell underneath it. Hmm, interesting. And then the PM session is most likely just gonna continue on up. So 5 minute here. Yeah, thing there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we had a shift here. Pretty energetic run up. I have to assume that we're going to at least try and get further back up into here. We're about to take out the lunch high. Um, Everything is below us. So finishing up this thing seems, we're getting close to maybe like that much. Doesn't seem like a bad play. Oh, it's about 1:30. We have this guy here. So what if for a long position, something like this? And is it worth the entire repricing there? Let's see. But like 50% or something semi-decent would be about here. So let's see if we can't get something like that instead. This is a concern because I might just take it and go. Okay, coming back down. What I don't understand, so should I be repricing from this level then? Or this order block right there? In which case they just tapped 50 and then took off. Okay, so I got this on the 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, they just paused this whole red candle. They just paused, collected orders, made this is a shift, and then took off again. So this, just curious. Oh, I get up about halfway through. Let's see. Just realized there's a fair value gap in here. So blind. So about halfway through, if I wanted to try for something, could have taken that. That would have left me a nice decent chunk. 'Cause I'm realizing that I'm not using these fair value gaps properly. And then, how far do they go? Well, through that. My 44 takes, beautiful. Probably gonna go, yeah. So I would have been happy with that and been cool. Time is it? 2 o'clock, right? So 2 o'clock on the 5 minute would have us do a continuation here. So I'm not going to be super precise in this. So if I were to buy here, that would set me in a position, oops, sorry, to maybe continue the run up from that fair value gap. To continue to the end of this thing right there, flatten, take that. See, that's the part I'm missing. Like, I'm not trusting these fair value gaps, right, to do their jobs. But for this one, that would have been good. We saw it break through, come back up, put my stop below these guys, and then, okay, yeah. And that would have been the PM continuation right there. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, so in this scenario, the 9:30 open just was a continuation. And then when 10 o'clock hit, didn't give us any indication it was going to turn around. Just, just kept going. Given that, wait till 10 o'clock, right? Wait till 10 o'clock and for it to either create itself a fair value gap or use one that already existed. Now, there's a tiny, 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 tiny one here. All of this. So the fact that they never came back down to that should, and they rallied away from it, should now give me the ability to feel comfortable to take a short from here with a stop below approximately about midpoint of that. And then, what is this, lunchtime? This is the morning to rally up to there. Still not understanding the behavior as well as I want to, so that sucks. Skipping the lunchtime hour because I obviously don't understand how to trade it. Well, let's look at it on the 5 minutes. So it did retrace. And wicks. Wicks. It's what the dude said. He said wicks. Consequent encroachment of these wicks are places where you should at least take some of your stuff off because most likely they're like to turn around and go. And look at it. Wick. 0.5. Took off. Not much movement though. So close. Is there any news today? Anyway, it's 8:30. All right, let's pick a different day and see how we could trade it. All right. Ew, that's gross. Look at that. Let's pick a different day in the last few days. No. Stop. Okay, we've gone. So we're here, 6th of June. Okay. Let's drop down to a 1 hour and let's pull back to here. Okay. So on the 15 minutes, let's just look at this. What do we have? All right, so as draws to liquidity, we have the PM session lows have already been taken, the London high is still there, and the PM high from the previous day is still there. So I'm just gonna mark this out. We have a premium fair value gap all the way up here. And a bullish order block right here. sorry, bearish order block right there. There's also this guy right here. It's a bearish order block. And all right, so, and let's note we have buy side here, buy side liquidity, and well, these two are so close, I'm going to use the base of that one. And the primary is bullish. Also, let me note the discount fair value gap below that they're currently hanging out inside of. Okay, let's go on to the 5-minute and see what we've got. So, we were like hanging out in this general vicinity, and this is the 9/3, 925, 35, 40, coming back up to here. Let's go 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. This contract was probably, oh, no, this is still June. Yeah, so it's good. So focusing up, we have this fair value gap right here, and it's 9:55. So one of two things. We have a high, lower high shifted through. So technically we have a mitigation block right here. This pairing right here. So let's see what it does. So we're just coming up on 10 o'clock. What do we have in this view? We're bullish, right? Okay. So if it gets past 50% of this, then I'm feeling good. All right, we have a nice thing here. We left a fair value gap here. If it comes back down to here, let's see. We got fallen to what I'm hoping for. Yes, beautifully. Okay, and I am expecting them to, I need at least 40 something ticks, so I'm expecting them to come up to this way and do this. So let's see, at minimum, can I get 40 ticks right there, and then we'll adjust. Okay, so we're in a 1 minute, and we came back. Now I'm gonna buy here. It's even better entry. See if I'm right. Beautiful. Okay, it's nice movement. Okay, so once we get over 20 ticks, I'm gonna move my stop because my new rule is I must get that at minimum. Where's my take profit thingy? Okay, and so we want to be, oh, sorry, one. Minimum take profit one is there, right? So where's 20 ticks? Oh, we just passed 20 ticks right there. So I'm just gonna leave that there for just to show. So 362. It's in the AM. Okay, let's see. And it's a strong green candle. Let's see if we can get through it. All right, coming in hot. Buy side there. 20 ticks here. So my stop loss is moved here. Okay. So let's continue this up. So really going for that. Okay, so let's see. Now, I don't want to see it come past this volume imbalance down here. So let's Yeah, that makes me unhappy, but still supporting, wicked down. So then I'd be stopped out right there. Probably will continue on. Well, actually, hang on. So while I'm still in some kind of, let's say I was being less weird about it, and it just hit the 50%. So in truth, my stop should be about the midpoint of this. If I'm being honest, if it passes it, then I'm wrong, right? See here. Came back down to gather more things. So if it can't make it past this, and it's using this as support. Okay, so what I just learned just now. Don't move my stop too quickly, right? Which is a problem I have, a serious problem that I have. Retracements are to be expected. The first one is probably not the best one. If there's a volume, the potential, see how it behaves at 50% level. The fact that we're meandering about and not rolling, what time is it? 10:23. So my 250 becomes more apparent once this has made this low. And let's feel like it's all time distortion, something iced tea. So like my first take profit would have just hit there. Okay. So with my current rule, I flatten here and be happy, move on to the next day's work. But it does go up to where I want it to go, which is nice. All right. So 5 minutes. So it comes up here. It's probably going to make its way all the way up there. It's always a retracement um, when it hits an objective, but I would be perfectly happy with that as I am learning. So now this is probably what, an IO Fed style entry. Well, actually, let's not do that. We can just talk through how it's going to make it up there. 40. It's about time for me to come to the order block. Like this one. Coming back down. Okay. So low, lower, low shifted through. So we had breaker in here. They came back down to this thing. And so lunchtime, we're already going up. So energetic run was probably consequent cause of this thing down here. Let's see. Okay. All right. All right. Took out that low. And now reverse. Reverse, reverse. Okay. So now we can aim for the lunchtime high. Or low, depending on, which one they take out. Otherwise, we have the AM session lows to play with. And we do have the previous day's PM session high up here along with the premium. So let's see what the afternoon gives us. Oh, wait. So let me also note that we are hanging out. Look at the bodies respecting that fair value gap. That's telling me it's trying to continue on up. So we have a shift here. We've come back down into it. Order block. So let's see. Because honestly, with that being the case, this would be from 130. No, it's so close to it. Might want to tap it again. So run back up and take out the New York lunch high, maybe tap that. Let's see. I mean, it's so low, like why wouldn't you? Right? So let me buy here. I should probably have waited. Let me flatten so I don't do anything. For the next candle, right? So I'm gonna buy there. And immediately I'm punished. Immediately. So instead it wants to, what are we looking at exactly? So I would have been stopped out by now. Oh my goodness. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like I keep doing this. Like I keep forgetting that there's something closer. So if I get on the 15-minute, um, that this is the order block to be paying attention to. So I need to specify. Oh, was that a? It was. Look at that. So along with the order block, we also had a volume imbalance right there. So I'm gonna flatten right there. I'm not gonna pretend like I did anything good. So on the 15-minute, if I had specified this, could have had my short, and take out the lunch highs. We're gonna do that. Yep. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. But this is what I'm missing. Like understanding where it's drawing to completely. Like I had, sometimes you get suctioned into the 1 minute to think about this and you're wrong. But you need to look at the higher time frame. Like he says it's the bellwether, right? So understanding that low, lower, low, shifted through. We had this whole breaker. But close proximity is this volume imbalance, which they love to tap. So if I took the order block entry top of that thing, 6 ticks, beautiful. I gotta be more alert. I'm more alert. All right, guys, I gotta prep for work. So happy Tuesday. Be safe out here trading. Kitty's gotta go get his medicines. I'm gonna go get it for him. So let me know how things are going for you. I think I'm doing well, even if my demo account is in drawdown. But every trade shows me what I needed to have paid more attention to and the things that I should um focus primarily on and trust my instincts too, right? Because there's been multiple times where I was like, yeah, this is a good place, and and I didn't take it, and then you know it ran off beautifully. But anyway, happy Tuesday. Be safe out here. Shakira out.